First contact. The quantum sensors at Luna Base picked up the anomaly first. Dr. Sarah Chen stared at the readings, her coffee growing cold beside her terminal. The wave patterns shouldn't exist, couldn't exist, according to conventional physics. But there they were, rippling across her holographic display like otherworldly thunder. Director Williams needs to see this, she muttered, already compiling the data package. Her fingers flew across the haptic interface, annotating the key variance points. After 15 years of scanning deep space for signs of advanced civilizations, they'd finally found something that couldn't be explained away by natural phenomena. Within hours, the Situation Room beneath the Pentagon hummed with controlled urgency. General Michael Hayes stood before a wall of screens, each displaying different aspects of the approaching anomaly. The quantum signatures had resolved into something more concrete, a fleet of vessels, massive in scale, crossing the heliopause. Ladies and gentlemen, Hayes addressed the assembled military and scientific leadership. What you're about to hear is classified above top secret. 20 years ago, we recovered technology from a crashed scout ship in the Atacama Desert. Since then, Project Sentinel has been preparing humanity for this exact scenario. The room erupted in murmurs. Dr. Chen, patched in from Luna Base, felt her breath catch. She'd always suspected her quantum research had applications beyond pure science. But this, the approaching fleet matches the technological signatures we extracted from the scout ship, Hayes continued. But they don't know we've had 2 decades to study their technology, to prepare, to advance our own capabilities far beyond what they'll expect to find. On screen, the alien fleet continued its advance, their massive ships distorting space-time around them. Traditional radar and optical telescopes showed nothing. Only the quantum detection grid revealed their true presence. Our advantage is surprise, Hayes explained, pulling up a holographic display of Earth's defensive grid. They think they're approaching a pre-quantum civilization. Instead, they're walking into the most sophisticated defensive network ever constructed. Scattered across Earth's orbit, thousands of satellites appeared normal to conventional scans. But Dr. Chen knew better. Each contained a quantum core based on her research, capable of things that would seem like magic to most of humanity. Dr. Chen, Hayes addressed her directly, initiate Protocol Omega. Let's show our visitors that humanity isn't as primitive as they think. Sarah's hands trembled slightly as she input the activation codes. Across the solar system, quantum cores hummed to life, creating an invisible web of interconnected consciousness. Earth's true defensive capabilities were about to be revealed. The alien fleet, still decelerating from their faster-than-light journey, had no idea they'd already been caught in humanity's web. Their first hint would come when their quantum systems began experiencing inexplicable fluctuations, carefully engineered disruptions courtesy of Dr. Chen's work. Now we wait, Hayes said, watching the fleet's approach on the quantum overlay. They think they're about to surprise a primitive civilization. Instead, they're about to learn why you should never underestimate humanity's capacity for innovation. The first ships of the alien fleet would reach lunar orbit in approximately 6 hours. 6 hours until they discovered that humanity had leapfrogged centuries of conventional technological development by reverse engineering their own technology. 6 hours until they learned that Earth was anything but defenseless. Dr. Chen smiled as she monitored the quantum grid's performance. Everything was working exactly as designed. The aliens thought they were hunting prey, but they were about to discover they'd stumbled into a trap 2 decades in the making. Earth was ready. Humanity had prepared, and the universe was about to learn a valuable lesson about underestimating the ingenuity of the human race. The silent strike. Admiral Kethrix of the Hegemony Fleet felt the first tremors of unease as his ships approached the third planet. Something was wrong. The quantum field signatures weren't matching their scout reports from 2 decades ago. The primitive civilization they detected should have been easily overwhelmed by their superior technology. Instead, their sensors were detecting anomalies. High Commander, his second-in-command's voice carried a note of concern. Our long-range scanners are experiencing interference patterns we've never encountered before. In the depths of the Pentagon's Quantum Command Center, Lieutenant Commander Maya Patel watched streams of data flow across her neural interface. The aliens' quantum encryption was sophisticated, but it was based on principles humanity had spent 20 years mastering. Her team of quantum hackers had already identified 3 major vulnerabilities. Execute Operation Ghost Protocol, she commanded, her cybernetically enhanced mind connecting directly with Earth's quantum defense grid. Across the solar system, invisible tendrils of quantum entanglement began penetrating the alien fleet's communications network. The first ship to fall was a scout vessel on the fleet's outer edge. Its quantum cores experienced what appeared to be a routine fluctuation, except this fluctuation had been precisely engineered by Maya's team. The ship's AI core, trying to compensate, opened itself to a deeper infiltration. Admiral Kithrix felt his unease grow as status reports began flooding in. Ship after ship reported mysterious system anomalies. Their quantum cores, the heart of their technological superiority, were behaving erratically. Yet scans of the planet below showed nothing but primitive satellites and radio communications. Impossible, Kithrix muttered as another sector of his fleet reported quantum core instabilities. They're barely a Type I civilization. They shouldn't even be able to detect our presence, let alone. His words trailed off as the holoscreen before him flickered. For a brief moment, an alien symbol appeared, something the ship's AI translated as ASI art, forming a simple human smile. In the Quantum Command Center, Maya allowed herself a small grin. The psychological impact of that simple symbol would be devastating. Let them wonder how a primitive civilization had penetrated their most sophisticated defenses just to display an ancient human emoticon. Phase 2, she commanded. Across the alien fleet, quantum cores began experiencing more severe disruptions. Navigation systems showed conflicting data, communication channels filled with random bits of human internet traffic, cat videos, memes, and fragments of social media posts. High Commander Kithrix's second reported, panic evident in their voice, "We're detecting quantum entanglement patterns throughout the fleet. They're unlike anything in our databases. The humans aren't just detecting us. They're inside our network." Kithrix stared at his command console as systems throughout his flagship began failing. The humans weren't just defending themselves. They were launching the most sophisticated cyber warfare campaign he'd ever encountered, and they were doing it with technology that by all rights they shouldn't have possessed for at least another century. In the Pentagon, General Hayes watched the alien fleet's formation begin to deteriorate. Ships were dropping out of their precise military spacing as their navigation systems failed. Communications between vessels degraded into chaos as Maya's team flooded their networks with quantum noise. "Status report," Hayes commanded. Maya's neural interface flickered as she processed the incoming data. 80% of their fleet is experiencing critical system failures. Their quantum cores are completely compromised. They still have conventional systems, but without their quantum technology, they're effectively blind to our capabilities. Earth's secret quantum web had performed exactly as designed. The aliens had expected to find a primitive civilization relying on radio waves and chemical rockets. Instead, they'd flown straight into humanity's invisible trap, their own technology turned against them with devastating effect. The silent strike had been delivered. Now came the hard part, showing the hegemony fleet that humanity wasn't interested in their destruction, only their respect. Turning point. The hegemony fleet hung in space like wounded predators, their quantum systems compromised, and their tactical advantage evaporated. Admiral Kithrix faced the hardest decision of his military career as a new transmission cut through the chaos of his ship's failing systems. "Hegemony Fleet, this is Earth Defense Command. Your quantum systems have been temporarily disabled as a defensive measure. We are prepared to restore functionality once diplomatic channels are established. The choice is yours." The message repeated in perfect hegemony standard, demonstrating yet another impossible feat. These humans hadn't just mastered quantum technology. They'd deciphered the hegemony's language from a crashed scout ship. In the Pentagon's diplomatic center, Ambassador Sarah Martinez prepared for first contact. Around her, screens displayed real-time translations of the scattered communications between the alien vessels. Their confusion and disbelief were evident in every transmission. "They're realizing we're not what they expected," Dr. Chen observed from her quantum monitoring station. "The question is, will they choose diplomacy, or will pride drive them to attempt conventional warfare?" The answer came moments later as Admiral Kethrix's flagship transmitted on an open frequency. "Earth Defense Command, this is High Commander Kethrix of the Hegemony Fleet. Your capabilities have exceeded our intelligence. We request diplomatic dialogue." General Hayes nodded to Ambassador Martinez. "The stage is yours, Ambassador. Show them why humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology. It's our capacity for both innovation and peace." Martinez stepped onto the quantum transmission platform. Her image would be projected into the alien flagship's command center, another demonstration of Earth's mastery over the technology the hegemony thought they monopolized. "Admiral Kethrix, I am Ambassador Martinez of Earth. First, allow me to apologize for the aggressive nature of our defense. We had to demonstrate our capabilities decisively to prevent unnecessary conflict." Thrix's alien features registered surprise at the sophisticated diplomatic approach. "You've achieved in 20 years what took the hegemony centuries. How?" "Human innovation thrives under pressure, Admiral. When we discovered we weren't alone in the universe, we didn't panic. We adapted. We learned. We evolved." Martinez gestured, and holographic displays showed the progress of human quantum technology. "But we never lost sight of our fundamental belief that cooperation is stronger than conquest." In the Quantum Command Center, Maya's team maintained their hold over the alien fleet systems while simultaneously gathering intelligence. The hegemony's databases revealed a vast interstellar empire, but one built on technological superiority rather than mutual understanding. "We're prepared to restore your quantum systems," Martinez continued, "and to share our innovations in quantum technology. In exchange, we propose an alliance. Earth can offer the hegemony new perspectives, new approaches to old problems. Together, we could achieve things neither of our civilizations could manage alone." Kethrix studied the human ambassador's projection. His species had encountered thousands of civilizations, but none had ever turned the tables so completely. None had mastered hegemony technology so quickly, yet chosen diplomacy over dominance. "The Hegemony Council will need convincing," Kethrix replied. "We've never encountered a species that could challenge our technological supremacy. It unsettles many of our fundamental assumptions." Martinez smiled. "Change often does, Admiral. But consider this. If humanity could achieve this much in just 20 years, imagine what we could accomplish as allies rather than adversaries." In orbit, the disabled hegemony ships waited as their commanders processed this new reality. They had come expecting to find primitive beings worthy only of conquest. Instead, they had found equals, perhaps even superiors, in the very technology they had thought unique to their civilization. The turning point had arrived. Humanity had proved itself not just technologically advanced, but diplomatically sophisticated. Now came the challenge of turning an averted invasion into a lasting peace. Counter-offensive. The Hegemony Council's response arrived 12 hours after initial contact. They rejected Earth's diplomatic overtures. 6 massive warships emerged from quantum space near Mars, their weapons already charging. These weren't part of Kethrix's expedition fleet. They were the hegemony's elite guard, sent to restore the Empire's wounded pride. General Hayes received the news with unexpected calm. "Initiate Operation Phoenix." Deep beneath the lunar surface, vast hangar doors opened for the first time. Dr. Chen's quantum sensors tracked the emergence of humanity's greatest secret, a fleet of ships that combined reverse-engineered hegemony technology with uniquely human innovations. "Phoenix Fleet, you are cleared for launch," Hayes announced. Show them what humanity's been building for the past 2 decades. The ships rose from their lunar cradles, their quantum cores pulsing with energy patterns that made the hegemony's technology look primitive by comparison. While the aliens had spent centuries refining existing quantum theories, humanity had approached the technology with fresh eyes and unprecedented creativity. Admiral Cathrix watched in disbelief as the human fleet emerged. Their ships bore little resemblance to hegemony designs, yet his sensors detected quantum signatures far more sophisticated than anything his civilization had achieved. They didn't just copy our technology, he realized. They reinvented it. The elite hegemony warships opened fire, their energy weapons cutting through space. But the human vessels shifted, their quantum fields bending reality in ways Cathrix had never seen. Shots that should have been devastating passed through empty space as the human ships seemed to exist in multiple locations simultaneously. Lieutenant Commander Patel, now interfaced directly with the Phoenix Fleet's quantum network, coordinated their defense. The ships moved as one, their quantum fields interacting in complex patterns that created zones of altered spacetime around the hegemony vessels. Target their propulsion systems, Hayes ordered. Let's show them the difference between copying technology and truly understanding it. The Phoenix Fleet responded with precision. Quantum torpedoes, weapons that existed in multiple states simultaneously until impact, phased through the hegemony shields as if they weren't there. The elite warships found their engines frozen in quantum stasis, unable to maneuver. What is this technology? The hegemony commander demanded over an open channel. These quantum manipulations should be impossible. Ambassador Martinez responded, her voice carrying a hint of pride. You relied on quantum technology as a tool. We understood it as a fundamental force of reality. While you were perfecting your existing systems, we were reimagining what was possible. The disabled hegemony warships hung in space, their crews witnessing firsthand the price of underestimating human potential. Earth's fleet surrounded them, demonstrating a level of quantum mastery that would revolutionize the galaxy's understanding of physics itself. The hegemony built an empire on technological superiority. Martinez continued, but humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology. It's our ability to see beyond established limits, to question every assumption, and to imagine new possibilities. In the Quantum Command Center, Dr. Chen's monitors showed the full extent of humanity's advantage. The Phoenix Fleet's quantum fields weren't just defensive systems, they were expanding humanity's understanding of reality itself. Each ship was a floating laboratory, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. The counteroffensive had succeeded without a single casualty. Earth had demonstrated not just military capability, but a complete paradigm shift in how quantum technology could be utilized. The galaxy's balance of power had shifted irrevocably, not through conquest, but through innovation. New Dawn. The Hegemony Council's emergency session lasted 3 days. When their final transmission reached Earth, it wasn't a declaration of war. It was a request for collaboration. The impossible had happened. Humanity's innovation had forced the galaxy's greatest power to reconsider its fundamental approach to civilization. In the Quantum Command Center, Dr. Chen and Lieutenant Commander Patil analyzed the data from the confrontation. The Phoenix Fleet's performance had exceeded their most optimistic projections, but it was the unexpected discoveries during the battle that truly excited the scientific community. The quantum field interactions between our ships created entirely new phenomena. Dr. Chen explained to the assembled leadership, "We've barely scratched the surface of what's possible." Ambassador Martinez led the negotiation team aboard the neutral station hastily constructed in Earth orbit. Admiral Cathrix, now acting as the hegemony's chief diplomat, found himself learning more about humanity's unique perspective on not just technology, but civilization itself. Your species' greatest weapon isn't your quantum fleet, Cathrix admitted during a private session. It's your inability to accept limitations. Where we saw absolute laws of physics, you saw suggestions to be challenged. Where we built an empire on stability, you thrived on change. The resulting treaty transformed the galaxy's political landscape. Earth became the center of a new quantum research initiative, with scientists from across the hegemony arriving to study humanity's revolutionary approaches. In return, humanity gained access to the vast knowledge accumulated by the hegemony over centuries of interstellar exploration. General Hayes stood with Dr. Chen on the observation deck of the new Quantum Academy, watching ships from a dozen alien civilizations dock at the orbital facility. Did you ever imagine, when you first detected those quantum signatures, that it would lead to this? Honestly, no, Chen smiled. But that's humanity's gift, isn't it? We don't just adapt to the impossible, we'd reshape it into something new. The Phoenix Fleet, once Earth's secret weapon, became the foundation for a joint defense force. Human quantum innovations combined with hegemony experience created ships that could traverse the galaxy with unprecedented ease. The age of isolation was over, replaced by an era of explosive technological and cultural growth.